David Queenie again. Today we're going to be talking about the inner mate, otherwise known as the anima. Now, those who've been studying the field of Jungian psychology are very familiar with the concept of the anima as the divine female within each man that represents all the female qualities that would represent a completion of his male identity. This concept of the anima as soul, and that's what the word anima means in Greek, as soul, is that the inner mate brings to us the other half of who we are. This is the Jungian concept of the anima. And of course, a woman has her own efficient level of connection with her inner man by connecting with her animus. This concept of the anima or animus as the functional completion of our personality by helping us be both male and female would lead then to the ultimate symbol of alchemical integration in the ancient alchemical writings, the symbol of the hermaphrodite, male and female, merged within a single body. The ancient alchemical writings frequently spoke of this hermaphroditic merging between the man and his inner female. And they describe this as the goal of their teachings and as the source of the elixir of immortality, the source of the gold of alchemy. More than almost any other alchemical process, this business of meeting, merging with, making love to your inner mate and becoming a hermaphrodite is a very common theme. And what does it mean? What does it mean in terms of real, practical use? This was the challenge that faced Carl Jung. And in coming up with his theory of the anima, and he wrote this in a book called Aion, A-I-O-N, he describes his own amazing journey to find the inner mate within himself and how he has helped others, mostly through dream analysis, to contact this archetype of the anima within. My work, however, with the anima, the inner mate, is very, very different. The concepts may be the same. But my work with the inner mate has to do with finding a very real figure of a man or woman in the client's inner world who will be their lover, their friend, their guide to love relationships. While most of work with the anima is done simply through listening to the client's dreams and hypothesizing what some ideal female quality might be, the work of alchemy, as I do it, is very practical. Let's go down a flight of stairs to meet your inner mate. What does she look like? What is her advice for you? Let me teach you how to make love to her and how to experience her advice coming to you on a daily basis. Why, the inner mate to me is a very practical guide. And this, it's a little hard to see in many of the Jungian writings, just how practical and immediate the inner mate is as a guide to our love life. Jung himself, however, Carl Jung described the inner mate as the guide to love relationships. And that's the focus that I have in my work with the inner mate. An inner mate, for example, first and foremost, for the single, lonely man or woman, will be a lover, someone you can sleep with, someone who you can hug in your arms. I often have my clients purchase a large hugging pillow to represent that inner mate. Even encourage them to find pictures that will represent the smile, the eyes, the beautiful body of the inner mate they want, so they can experience what it means to be loved in their bodies. Allowing the inner mate even to take one of your hands and stroke your body. So first and foremost, especially in our modern world that is so short of romantic love and fulfillment, the inner mate can begin to give us those things. Now, in addition, Carl Jung says that the inner mate provides a completion of the qualities that the inner mate has to help us to know better who we are, help us to become a bigger, broader, wiser person. And this is especially true in my own life. I've always been, frankly, a bit of an arrogant son of a bitch sometimes, been accused of narcissism on more than one occasion. So it wouldn't surprise you probably to know that my inner mate shows up as a servant girl. Actually, a servant girl who served King Henry VIII of England, so she knows exactly how to deal with arrogant asses like him like me. And so in our relationship, she continually teaches me how to be listening to others' needs, how to set aside my own priorities long enough to care for another's needs. That's what a servant does, not just being willing when someone expresses their hurt and their needs, but willing to pay attention to the subtle cues when someone's not happy with what's going down, and to be able to address it. That's what a servant does without a word. I notice that this is how you're feeling. What can I do for you? I've had to learn from my inner mate how to be a servant. It hasn't always been an easy job. Carl Jung's inner mate taught him how to have a sense of humor, taught him how to have fun, taught him how to be an artist. In fact, he created a beautiful work of art, a giant book filled with beautiful paintings, channeled by his inner mate. The inner mate can also be a guide to love relationships. When my inner mate goes on a date with me, she helps me understand what's happening to this woman sitting across the table. Sometimes her advice is practical but discouraging. She may say, for example, well, this woman looks hot. She looks very exciting and beautiful, but I don't believe you two have a chance together because of what she said over here. She helps me to see sometimes what I need to look at. At other times, she'll say, yep, that's the one. I know she's got a problem with this, but don't let that stand in your way. She actually fixed me up with the beautiful woman I'm with right now. I love my Raven so much, and she is so much like, even looking like, my inner mate, but has many other wonderful features that my inner mate repeatedly points out to me how special they are. And my inner mate helps me to solve things when things get difficult. With Raven, my inner mate will say, David, here's what you need to say. David, here's what's going on with her. So the inner mate is our guide to relationship, who is far more available than Dr. Phil and just as good in giving us advice about what relationship choices we should be exploring. Whether you're in a relationship and looking for one, or whether you're feeling lonely because you don't have one, or whether you're going through the difficulties of a divorce or separation, or whether you just want to have a connection to the qualities of manhood and womanhood that live deep within you and can help you become complete, you should be exploring the inner